There are links to my Twitch, Twitter, and Discord down below. Tip number 1, have a good droner. Now this might seem redundant that I'm actually saying this, but in order for you to be a successful entry fragger and get that first opening kill, you're gonna need either someone droning you in, or you need to be droning yourself in. Either way, you need to be clearing the map with your drone first, get the info on the enemy, and then get that opening kill. Tip number 2, you need to have good gun skill if you do want to be an entry fragger. Now, this is a very obvious tip, but it's important. In order to win your 1v1 engagements, you have to have good gun skill, or else 9 times out of 10, you won't win them. This goes back to tip number 1, how I was saying you need to have a good droner. Once you have the intel to your advantage of where the enemy is positioned at, it is then up to you to get that kill. Tip number 3, know where the enemy is going to be. Now, for example, remember where the enemy was last round, and if it is the first round of the game, then understand where operators normally play. So on Bank, for example, you usually have a smoke playing Red Hall to smoke default plant, and you usually have a Maestro, Echo, Doc, whatever it may be, somebody with a good gun and an ACOG, holding long angle through the bars. Just understand where certain operators will play in certain sites, and stop second guessing yourself on where they would be. Tip number 4, never be too passive. If you have the intel on an operator on the map, and you're within range to kill them, never be too passive on that. It'll come back to bite you in the ass. So if you have the intel on the jump on an enemy, always take that gunfight. Obviously, take this with a grain of salt. If you get 1 to 3 kills during a round, then most likely the last remaining operators will be in or around sight. Tip number 5, use your utility to your advantage. Now, whether you're Ash, Zofia, Buck, Sledge, IQ, whatever the situation may be and the operator that you're on, always use your utility to your advantage to get that kill. So for example, Buck, if your enemy is in a room with self walls all around him, don't just walk through the doorways, because that's an easy pre-aim for him, and that will lead to him having a higher advantage of winning that gunfight. Buck the wall or throw a nade to distract him, so that way he has something else to worry about besides holding the doorway. Whatever situation you're in, always use the Zofia concussion mine or the Buck skeleton key or Sledge's sledgehammer to give yourself an advantage in order for you to win that engagement. Tip number 6, enter from non-flankable spots. Now, you might ask yourself, what do I mean by this? Well, on Clubhouse, if you enter from the garage, then there's really only 2 ways for the defenders to flank you. They have the option of going up the ladder, which isn't that common, and if you haven't droned the top floor, which you should, he can jump through the rafters window from CCTV. Just understand and put yourself in the best position you can be in order to take the map control you need. Tip number 7, make the right operator the entry fragger, and there's huge emphasis on this tip. You need to understand how important certain operators are. Obviously, don't send a Thermite, Thatcher, Hibana, Maverick, or anyone else in for an entry frag, because those are very important operators in order to open a wall or gain you access to a site in order to plant or win the round. Now, some of the best operators to entry frag on are high-speed operators like Ash or IQ, or very dense utility operators like Buck, Sledge, Zofia, or really anyone you're comfortable on that isn't necessarily needed to win a round. Just look at Pro League, for example. You usually have an Ash, a Zofia, Buck, Sledge, or an IQ as the entry fragger. So just take tips from that and from this video and apply it to what operators you should play in order to be an entry fragger. Moving on to tip number 8, the final and last tip. Understand high traffic areas. Now, what I mean by this is, understand where the enemy might be rotating from or to in order to flank you. Now on Clubhouse, the lounge area is a very high traffic area because it allows the defenders to rotate up the blue staircase and go through lounge to flank bar, which is a very crucial area on the attacking side as bar. Just understand where the enemies might flank from and know and understand this so you don't get flanked when you are on the entry frag. And this goes for all maps. Each map has its own high traffic area. You just have to learn them and understand to hold your flanks. Now that's going to be it for the tip video. I hope you enjoyed. I have a complete playlist to all my other tip videos below. If you guys are looking for some different topics for your tip videos, I have some really good content in there, so I'd appreciate you guys go taking a peep over there, maybe dropping a like on videos that help you out. And if you did enjoy the content, consider hitting that subscribe button. It's greatly appreciated. Again, my Twitch, Twitter, and Discord are down below. I stream on Twitch every single day. I would love to see you there. And that's it for the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.